You can buy safety in California, but can you afford it? Today we're ranking the 10 biggest cities from worst to best using a simple rule. You either pay with your wallet or your well-being. Some places hit you with 110-degree summers and sketchy stats. Others flex shockingly low violent crime, but the median home price will make your accountant cry. Stay to the end because the top spot is both the safest vibe on this list and the most brutal 7-figure buy-in. Think welcome package that includes security cameras, a dog, and a second job. Let that sink in. Number 1, Bakersfield. You think you're saving money until July hits 108 and your AC bill looks like a mid-tier car payment. Bakersfield dangles the dream. A real backyard, a driveway big enough for a truck, and a mortgage number that doesn't make you nauseous. You can actually get a starter home with a garage and still afford groceries. Sounds like a win. But here's the catch. This is Central Valley living, and the thermostat loves triple digits. Heat waves run long, and the air doesn't always play nice. The valley traps pollution, so you'll get those stay indoors days right when you wanted to grill. Safety? It flips by block. 1 cul-de-sac feels chill. 3 turns over, you're double-checking the gate and parking under motion lights. It's whiplash. It's like choosing a budget airline. The fare is cheap. Then you get charged for seat selection, a carry-on, and the privilege of breathing. In Bakersfield, your add-ons are blackout curtains, a smart thermostat, and a monthly line item called Cool the House or Melt. You'll buy shade sails. You'll learn which rooms roast by noon. The air quality thing isn't a rumor. The valley's bowl shape and ag activity mean haze can linger, and more hot days mean more energy pulled for cooling. Property crime pops up in predictable clusters, cars left outside, tools in open garages, packages on steps. Locals respond with doorbell cams, floodlights, and dogs that sound bigger than they are. It's standard operating procedure, not paranoia. Then there's the commute reality. You need a car, probably 2. Neighborhoods spread wide, errands stack miles, and insurance nudges up with all that driving. Add in utilities, summer electricity runs spicy, and your I scored a deal math gets tested. You still come out ahead of coastal pricing, but the gap narrows once you tally gasoline, tires, and the privilege of Arctic mode living room temps. People here prize space, detached homes with side yards, sheds, and actual closets. But the shopping list says security stickers, window film, deadbolts, and those thick curtains that turn the bedroom into a cave. You start timing outdoor chores before 10 a.m., then vanish till sunset like a vampire with a Home Depot card. So what's the exchange rate between sweat and savings? How many 100-degree afternoons are you cool with if it means a mortgage that doesn't wreck your sleep? How much peace do motion sensors buy you when packages start walking? Here's the payoff. Bakersfield works if you want square footage and don't mind running your house like a small operation. You'll DIY security, worship the AC, and pocket the difference you're not feeding to a 7-figure lender. You pay in sweat, not status. So what if the thermostat stays high and the stakes nudge higher? Number 2, Fresno. Fresno sells you the backyard barbecue life until fire season rolls in and the sky looks like a filter you didn't order. You get the grill, the patio set, the lawn. Then the AQI app becomes your morning news, and you're planning weekends around wind direction. It's real, it's happening. Here's the thing, you do get space. You'll find a house with a legit yard, fruit stands down the road, and prices that don't make your bank app panic. You're within striking distance of Yosemite and Sequoia, so day trips feel easy. That's the bait. The switch lives in the air in the calendar. But here's the catch. Seasonal smoke visits like a relative who overstays. The Central Valley traps pollution, so ozone and particulates hang around, especially in heat. Drought talk isn't background noise. It threads into lawns, utility bills, and the mood at the farmer's market. And safety isn't uniform. Some streets feel solid. A few blocks over, doorbell alerts stay busy at 2 a.m. Think of Fresno like a Costco membership. The value is undeniable. You roll out with more house for less money, but the hidden line items add up. Air purifiers, extra filters, higher summer electricity, and that security bundle you swore you didn't need until your neighbor's package walked off. You still save, just not as wildly as the listing price promised. The pollution cycle isn't a rumor. Geography plus regional emissions mean the haze lingers on hot, still days. Wildfire smoke stacks on top, dropping visibility and pushing people indoors. That's when households start sealing windows, swapping HVAC filters early, and running purifiers like white noise machines. The safety side follows a similar pattern. Statewide, folks report high concern about property crime, and Fresno leans into that anxiety. Cameras, motion lights, and deliveries to the side gate become normal. Daily life runs on cars. The city spreads out, so you'll drive for schools, certain grocery chains, and your preferred clinic. If you want a specific program or better rated campus, add 20 minutes in each direction. Commute corridors clog at the usual times, and your optimism fades the third time you hit the same left turn cue. Families here trade polish for private space. The kids get grass, the parents get storage. Then the budget shifts to HEPA filters, Mervy 13 stacks, and a monthly cloud video plan. You're not paranoid, you're calibrated to the environment. So, is front row access to national parks worth the routine of smoke alerts and lock-it-down habits? If you crave land and can swallow the haze plus the safety prep tax, Fresno is the value play. You win yards and square footage, you pay with filters, vigilance, and a calendar that revolves around fire maps and school pickup runs. Let's raise the price and the risk profile by heading to the Bay's edgiest story. Number 3, Oakland. You fall for the food, the murals, the Bay views. Then you meet the line item called peace of mind. Oakland seduces fast. A night market here, a craft coffee there, and that hillside sunset that makes you forget what you earn. Then your spreadsheet grows a new column labeled security. Here's the thing, the city has real energy. Neighborhoods actually feel different, not copy-paste. You can walk to a tiny wine bar, hop BART to a show, or ferry across the water and be back before a last call. That mix of transit and character is rare. It's intoxicating. But here's the catch. Property crime headlines aren't noise. Car break-ins mess with your routine, and the perception gaps are huge. One block feels chill and artsy, the next feels tense after dark. You start learning which corners you avoid at night and which streets you park on, only if you can see your car from the restaurant window. It's like buying a vintage sports car. Gorgeous, loud, thrilling. Then you realize the tune-ups are frequent, parts are pricey, and every small rattle becomes a weekend project. Oakland's maintenance plan is cameras, alarms, and comprehensive coverage. You're upgrading locks and debating whether a monitored system beats a beefy dog with a deep bark. Trends swing by neighborhood. Some hillsides hum quiet with low incident rates. Flatlands corridors report more break-ins and thefts. Residents adapt. Doorbell cams light up group chats. Motion floods go in. People claim they're parking with gates, or they rent a garage even when street parking is free. It's not paranoia, it's how you protect your time and your stuff. Commute choices help a lot. BART moves you north-south without touching the freeway, and the ferry to the waterfront is a stealth hack for office days. But safety feels different by hour. A station that's fine at 8 a.m. might feel sketchy at 10 p.m., and your route home can change based on a single alert. That mental load is part of the cost. Median home prices still swing high for what you get compared to inland options. Renters love the culture per square mile, then run the calculus. Do you accept more theft anxiety to live near your favorite venues, or move a few stations away and trade vibe for quiet? There's no free lane. So how much is culture worth if you're also paying for a garage, a glass break sensor, and an insurance plan that reads like small print on a luxury watch? Is the view from your block and the ramen around the corner enough to justify parking indoors and never leaving a backpack visible ever? Mini payoff, Oakland delivers electric urban life. You'll pay a security premium in cash and in headspace, and you'll still want those views. Want calmer vibes without leaving NorCal? The capital says, drive a little, save a little. Number 4, Sacramento. Sacramento whispers, affordable California. Then quietly adds a long drive footnote. The brochure reads friendly. A shot at a yard, a garage, and a mortgage that won't end your group chat. Then the small print shows up on your calendar in the form of miles, minutes, and heat. Here's the thing. You get government paychecks anchoring the job market, tree-lined streets with legit shade, and a food scene that keeps getting better thanks to the farms sitting basically next door. It's a better entry point than the coast if you want 4 walls and a deed. Farmers markets aren't a flex here, they're a Tuesday. But here's the catch. Summer spikes hit hard, and traffic corridors like I-5, 50 and 80 keep getting busier as growth pushes into the suburbs. Prices creep as Bay spillover money hunts space, and the gap you thought was wide starts shrinking quarter by quarter. You still save, but the delta is on a diet. Think of it like a mid-tier streaming plan. You get most of what you want, and it's cheaper than the premium channel. Then you hit buffering at 5 p.m., when everyone's streaming the same exit ramp. You'll grumble, but you'll keep the subscription because it works well enough. Commutes are stretching as new roofs fill in the growth corridors to the south and east. More rooftops mean more cars at the same choke points, and your 22-minute fantasy slides toward 35 when schools are in session. On safety, the core has pockets where property crime keeps folks on edge, while nearby suburbs dial down the stress with quieter streets and locked-down HOAs. Residents adapt with doorbell cams and motion lights, while calmer neighborhoods lean on gates and basic vigilance. Family calculus goes like this. The odds of ownership are finally decent, but you'll plan your life around car time and be picky about districts. You might love your house, but choose a magnet or a charter across town, which adds an hour of driving you didn't plan for. If you want sports, language programs, or that one STEM track, you're budgeting gas before tuition. Hybrid workers win big here. 2 days in office, 3 at home, and suddenly the distance tax feels like a minor fee. Full-time office folks feel every merge. That livable commute becomes a personality trait. So does the practical affordability hold if more Bay Area earners keep bidding up the map? The answer is yes, until it's a qualified yes. You still cash a quality of life upgrade, but you pay with heat tolerance and time management that borders on project planning. Mini payoff. SAC is a functional compromise. Costs you can live with if you accept hot summers and a commute you manage, not avoid. Head south to the coast for beach energy and a different kind of hidden bill. Number 5, Long Beach. You want the ocean vibe without Santa Monica pricing. Long Beach raises its hand and a warning flag. On a good day, it feels like a cheat code. Palm-lined streets, a marina stroll, and that Queen Mary silhouette that makes your feed look richer than your lease. The nightlife pops just enough. Craft beer, small venues, late tacos, without the velvet rope attitude. Here's the thing. The city is a patchwork. Belmont Shore brunches. Downtown has lofts and bars within a few blocks. Bixby Knolls throws family events and small biz energy. You can actually run errands on foot in the right pockets, grab coffee, hit a market, and be home before your laundry cycle dings. It's coastal light that still moves at neighborhood speed. But here's the catch. Property crime concerns buzz in the background like a fridge you can't unplug. Bikes vanish if they're cute and unlocked for 5 minutes. Car windows pay for your optimism. Porch deliveries? You'll learn the art of scheduling. Port-adjacent roads push truck traffic through key corridors, so the drive home can swing from smooth to stop and stare at a stack of containers. And rent isn't cheap coastal. It's mid-high with a side of security deposit anxiety. It's like buying last year's flagship phone. The design is slick, the camera still slaps, and the software runs smoothly. But it's missing that one new feature, and you're reminded every time you see your friend's latest model. Long Beach gives you the premium feel, but the quirks, parking pressure, theft stress, and that occasional gritty block say you didn't buy top tier. Let's talk patterns. Concerns about break-ins and package theft spike near busy corridors and dense buildings, while quieter residential streets feel calmer. Parking tightens near the beach and nightlife zones. Street sweeping day becomes a weekly strategy meeting. A garage is gold. A gated spot is silver. Street parking with no cameras? That's a trust fall. Families work the balance sheet with intent. The beach is 10 minutes away, but school searches get meticulous. You tour catchments, peek at ratings, and hear parents trade notes in line at the park. Security habits go standard. You lock on the cruiser, AirTag on the e-bike, nothing left in cars, ever. Weekend plan. Sand in the morning. Lows for motion lights in the afternoon. Transit links to LA exist. Metro lines and buses connect the grid, but rush hour humbles idealists. That 25-minute fantasy stretches when the 710 coughs, or the 405 decides to be the 405. If you can live close to work, you win. If not, podcasts become a personality trait. So is ocean access worth a not quite premium price, plus theft-proofing your life? If coastal lifestyle light sounds right, Long Beach delivers. You pay in vigilance and mid-high rents. If you want safer metrics baked in, the next stop is engineered suburbia. Number 6, Anaheim. Family-friendly branding, manicured boulevards, and the theme park next door. What could go wrong? On the surface, Anaheim feels like safety with sprinkles. Clean parks, tidy cul-de-sacs, and fireworks you don't even have to buy. You get suburbia with a postcard filter and a mascot wave. Here's the thing, Anaheim runs on order, master-planned pockets, fresh pavement, HOA newsletters that read like policy memos. You're close to major job hubs in OC, and LA is technically commutable if your soul can handle the 5. Day-to-day errands are easy. Big box stores, soccer fields, chain restaurants that seat a party of 8 without blinking. It's predictable in a way that calms your brain. But here's the catch. Tourism runs the thermostat on prices and patience. Weekend surge? Your go-to lunch spot is now a 40-minute line. Hotels fill, rideshare traffic swarms, and your quiet route home turns into a parade. HOA vibes mean rules, paint colors, lawn height, garage doors closed by 9, and housing costs more than the brochure energy suggests. That starter price? It starts higher here. Think of it like a theme park fast pass. Yes, the lines are shorter, you move faster, but the ticket price keeps climbing and the add-ons multiply. Preferred parking becomes a metaphor for everything. The convenience is real, but you pay extra for it. Safety metrics look better than big LA cores, especially on violent crime. That's the sell. Yet you'll still see ring cams on nearly every door. People favor alarms, porch lights on timers, and community chats that light up when a white sedan loops the block twice. The contradiction is the point. Lower violent risk, higher adoption of deterrence, because property crime and package theft live where deliveries pile up. Near the attractions, the stress ticks up. Parking titans and cut-through drivers treat your street like a shortcut. You'll learn event calendars the way other people learn sports schedules. On fireworks nights, bedtime is a theory. On marathon mornings, forget leaving early unless you like barricades. Schools can be fine, even great in certain zones, but seats get competitive. Parents play spreadsheet Tetris with transfers and programs. If you go private to lock in a path, add a steady new bill to the monthly burn. Tutoring, aftercare, sports fees. Welcome to the bonus round. Here's the build. The order tax is real. Higher median prices than you'd expect for square footage, HOA fees that never take a vacation, and the daily reality of living next to a global attraction. You'll pay for a predictable street, and sometimes for the privilege of not hearing about your neighbor's weekend. Mini payoff. Anaheim buys predictability. You get calm streets, fast fixes, and a sense that someone is minding the store, but your budget wears mouse ears year-round. Level up to the premium tier, where safety and cost both hit extreme settings. Number 7, San Jose. Low violent crime, clean streets, tech paychecks. Then the mortgage quote lands like a plot twist. You come in thinking, sweet, stable, safe. You leave asking why the down payment looks like a startup seed round. Let that sink in. Here's the thing. San Jose plays suburb city with pro settings. Parks everywhere, tidy shopping centers, and schools that keep the neighborhood groups busy with sign-up links. Paychecks run strong, job security feels solid, and the day-to-day risk is low across most metrics. It's calm in a way that makes you forget chaos exists until you see your housing tab. But here's the catch. The median home price reads like a dare. Even six-figure earners do math they don't want to do. You can qualify, sure, but can you breathe after? The list price is only the first punch. Closing costs, property taxes, and the remodel you swore you wouldn't touch throw jabs until you agree to a smaller place. It's the premium gym, spotless, plenty of equipment, towels folded like origami, and your bank account is doing burpees in the corner. You pay monthly for the privilege of never worrying about a broken machine. That's San Jose. Top-tier service, top-tier bill. Safe-wise, patterns back the vibe that affluent suburbs trend safer, and San Jose sits in that lane with low violent crime exposure relative to urban cores. The flip side is just as real. Sky-high prices are the cover charge. You're buying a set of odds, and the house always wins. Commute-wise, if you work locally, it's fine. Short hops on surface streets, or a quick run on 1785, 280, or 880 when they behave. Cross-Valley drives change the math. The 101 and 280 grind turns your patience into a consumable. 10 extra minutes morph into 30 when one fender bender appears near an interchange, and suddenly your evening is a podcast marathon. Families love the park density and the school pipeline. Weekend soccer fields look like small festivals. But space costs. That means townhomes and condos become the starter kit, not the aspirational step down. You learn to worship storage hacks, HOA rules, and the concept of shared walls, because a detached home at entry-level pricing is a myth in most ZIPs. So what's comfort worth? Peace of mind, low violent crime anxiety, well-lit streets, and playgrounds that look brand new, versus slow-burn net worth erosion as your mortgage and taxes eat raises. Do you keep the quiet and accept the thinner cushion, or chase space and trade some of that safety glow? Mini payoff. San Jose buys safety and stability. You trade liquidity for quiet streets and reliable routines. The bill is steep, the lifestyle is calm, and your spreadsheet learns to live with less wiggle room. Ready for the boss level of pay to play? Here comes the legend. Number 8, San Francisco. World-class city, tight violent crime in many neighborhoods, 97 hours in traffic if you're driving. But here's the twist. You might not even own a car. SF invites you to ditch the wheel, walk to dinner, and ride a train past the gridlock you used to hate. It's the rare place where your life radius shrinks and somehow gets bigger. Here's the thing. The trade is real. You get dense culture, stacked restaurants, third-wave coffee on every other block, galleries tucked between corner markets, and live shows that don't require a parking hunt. Sidewalks do more work than garages. Your week becomes a series of short hops. Work, tacos, a film, done. But here's the catch. The median home price is orbiting $1.4 million, and that's before you've even met property taxes or stared down HOA dues on a not-so-big condo. Visible homelessness sits in the same zip codes as Michelin meals, and the property crime anxiety is live. You learn the bag in front stance on a bus. You keep a mental map of blocks where you hold your phone lower. It's like a black card membership. The velvet rope opens. The city treats you to front row living. Then the annual fee yanks your soul through a spreadsheet. Elite access, relentless billing. Let's ground it. The price tag is high, listings, closings, and rent ladders that move like surge pricing. Safety varies by neighborhood and even by corner. You can have low violent crime odds on a quiet street and still triple check your trunk because the perception gap on package theft and break-ins is loud. That gap shapes behavior more than any press release ever will. Residents stack habits, backpacks forward-facing, nothing left in cars, period. Door codes, lobby cameras, parcel lockers, a doorman if you can swing it, renters weigh transit bliss. No car, no gas, no hunt against rent spikes that arrive like surprise software updates. Lock in a lease, exhale, and pray. Your building doesn't get renovated. If you can go car light, you win hours back. Walk to work, bike to the gym, Muni, Caltrain, ferries when you need them. That's real time you'll never get in a freeway culture. If your job pulls you across bridges at peak, the traffic tax returns, and it's brutal. 97 hours is not theoretical when you're staring at taillights. So what are you buying? Freedom from suburban stasis or a very expensive flex? The restaurants, the views, the parks that feel like bonus living rooms, worth it if your budget can take a monthly punch and your tolerance for street-level chaos is high. Mini payoff. SF is premium city living, low violent risk and choice pockets, paid for with a massive check and daily situational awareness. Think that's steep? Let's talk the sun-drenched version with a surf tax. Number 9, San Diego. Perfect weather, beach communities, and shockingly calm vibes until your housing search wipes the smile off your face. You land, you breathe, you jog a cliffside trail, and then a 2-bed starter lists for a number that looks like a luxury SUV fleet. Welcome to the chill tax. Here's the thing. You get mild winters that feel like spring, coastal trails threaded through neighborhoods, and parks where toddlers, surfers, and retirees share the same sunny square mile. Farmers markets pop midweek. Weekend mornings smell like sunscreen and coffee. It sells itself before you even tour a house. But here's the catch. Prices rival the big leagues. Starter homes float in the $700,000 to $800,000 lane like that's normal. Condos aren't a steal, they're a compromise. Rents jump into second car payment territory, and that's before parking or a pet fee. You don't break even. You learn to love stability more than square footage. It's the luxury mattress of cities. You sleep great, you wake up rested, and every month the bill reminds you what comfort costs. No squeaks, no drafts, no seasonal depression, just a steady auto draft that never misses leg day. Let's talk numbers and behavior. Median home prices sit high, rents trail not far behind, and yet the violent crime rate in many suburbs stays low enough that evening strolls don't spike your pulse. That said, property crime still shapes habits. People run doorbell cams, gate their bikes, and treat car interiors like a minimalist exhibit. Nothing visible ever. Parcel lockers, lobby codes, and friendly but nosy neighbors become your security stack. Commutes are a choose-your-own outcome. If you live near work, North County near biotech, inland near hospitals, downtown near offices, you win the game. If not, the 5 and 805 remind you who's boss. North County to downtown can swing from chill to crawl based on one fender bender. East-west connectors do fine until rain shows up and drivers act brand new. Don't even get me started on the lane changes. Here's the family math. Private school and daycare stack onto already high housing. You'll see wait lists and sticker shock in the same week. Aftercare, camps, and sports add another layer. Meanwhile, the military presence steadies the job market and demand, smoothing dips that whack other cities. Translation: fewer bargains, more consistency. So is year-round sunshine enough to justify a 7-figure path to ownership? If your budget can surf the swells, mortgage, childcare, weekend tacos without flinching, you get serenity on tap. The weather doesn't argue. The ocean doesn't send passive-aggressive emails. Mini payoff: San Diego is the softest landing in SoCal if your budget can surf. You pay for serenity and you actually get it. Last stop, the city that mixes every California extreme into one daily experiment. Number 10, Los Angeles. LA lets you design your life: beach, hills, urban core, but the build changes with every zip code. You can wake up to Marine Layer and end the day sweating in the valley, then spend the night under neon on Sunset. It's all here. The price is not consistent. Let that sink in. Here's the thing. The job market is massive. Studios, startups, aerospace, healthcare, logistics. You can pivot careers without leaving the county. Entertainment is top shelf on a random Tuesday. Concerts, comedy, pop-ups that feel like limited drops. Microclimates turn a 20-minute drive into a new season. And the neighborhoods never end, each with its own menu, noise level, and rent ceiling. But here's the catch. You lose time. An average of 103 hours a year to traffic is a real number, not a meme. Rents run steep in the places with quick commutes or strong school reputations. Safety feels hyper-local. One block you're walking the dog at midnight, the next block you're clutching your backpack and speed walking to the car. It's whiplash by crosswalk. LLA is a la carte. You can have ocean access, a quiet canyon, and a short commute. Pick two. Every add-on costs either minutes or money. Want nightlife and space? Pay more for parking. Pay more in stress. Want silence and sunlight? Add a long freeway romance to your calendar and a gas budget that reads like a gym membership. The receipts are clear enough without a stat dump. Those 103 hours in traffic are the tax for bad live work alignment. Property crime concerns are the drumbeat that keeps center consoles empty and trunks cleaner than a museum shelf. Safety and pricing swing wildly by neighborhood, even by the side of a boulevard, so your rent and your nerves change with a single move. Commute roulette is the game. If you live near work, you win back evenings. If you don't, you're mainlining podcasts and watching sunsets from the 405. A 15-minute drive becomes 40 with one lane closure and a sprinkle of optimism. That's not drama, that's Tuesday. Families face a binary that isn't cute: private school or long commute. If you want a specific program, get ready to drive or write a big check. At home, cameras, alarms, and big dog energy are standard. People build their own perimeter and share clips in group chats like it's neighborhood news. So can you engineer a lifestyle bubble that doesn't bankrupt your savings or your sanity? Yes, if you track calendars, stalk listings, and accept trade-offs like a pro. The margin for error is thin. One wrong move, and your week dissolves into gridlock and late fees. Mini payoff: LA is the ultimate customization if you pay attention and pay up. We've run the gauntlet. Time to tally what it really costs to win the California game. That's it for today. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.